r/AskReddit, what BS had your DM tried to pull, that the mechanics of the game supported? I'll start. Recently my DM had me try to slap my ally awake from the sleep spell and had me roll to attack since unconscious only gave advantage, not automatic hit. I rolled 1,4 which doesn't hit his AC and, already being low on health caused me to knock myself out because he said I hit myself. My 12th level monk, hit himself, when trying to wake someone from a first level spell. We were promptly both mauled in our sleep and died. First, if it's 5e, it doesn't have an explicit critical failure rule. That's DM discretion if used. Second, advantage takes the highest of your 2 dice, so you rolled a 4, having no effect at all. I think that's just a bad ruling, maybe DM was bored? Bored. DM is a dick. I was fighting something 60 feet underwater. Used a 1 to vanish a 5x5x5 cube of water. Me and 2 engineers figured out how much weight that would be the equivalent of in the water hammer explosion. And came up with something like 60,000 pounds of water. DM agreed, and ruled that since I was right next to it, I took just as much as the foe. I was okay with and expecting that. I also figured it would be in the 10d10 range of damage. He figured that based on the damage a 1,000 pound rock would do, I would take 1,500 d6 in damage. He also ruled the only stuff to survive was magic items and tiny bits and pieces. I apologized and agreed to never try anything clever ever again. This is the same DM that thought a dragon of AC 25, 1200 HP, and immune to magic level 4 and below would make for a good fight. The dwarves that sent us to kill it, leveled up and killed it for us. Recently fired him as DM, and I've taken over. Why didn't you just tell him how much damage it is going to do? Rolling about you taking the same DMG is fine immo, but that damage seems ridiculous. Find some servant and make him use it, but then again DM would just probably use it on you cause he sounds like an S. I think the most recent one was when I was interrogating a tied up slaver and poked her in the leg with my sword, and my GM said to roll damage. Like, that's theoretically following the rules, but surely I can just decide not to put all of my 16 strength into it, and just do 1 damage. Yes you can. You can even say, that you are attacking without intention to kill. In this case opponent should go unconscious or rolling death saves, or be disarmed, or pacified in any other way. Had character once, that was killing enemy, just to heal them and kill them again as a fucked up torturing method. Props to my golden DM for letting me though. I was a first level barbarian, the only good player in the group. In the first battle we encountered 5 goblins. 2 on one hill and 3 on another. So I got worst roll on initiative. But nevertheless I attacked the 2, killing one of them. The other was killed by our wizard. So I ran up the other hill and ended up killing 2 of those 3. Now, I was the only person on that hill and the closest party member besides me was 35 feet away. DM said looting would go by initiative, so first person on initiative loots first. But he also said since we were out of initiative there was no movement restriction. Yet I only got to loot 1 kill. And the guy who looted the exact one I wanted to got a +1 long sword. That was last Tuesday and the whole session was chaotic. If this upcoming session doesn't go well I'm gonna drop out of the campaign. Is looting supposed to be by initiative? Should be first come first serve. It's usually evenly distributed between the party, with an effort made to increase the total party power. A normal other option is to negotiate with the group on how to split the loot up. That's how a normal group full of non-asshole players would split the group up. Even evil groups normally try to increase total party power, as if your teammates are more powerful you can kill more things and get better loot. But that entire group sounds toxic with the little data we have from op. So in a toxic group, initiative sounds like a good second choice for distributing loot. First choice would be to give up all the loot and then dump the group. I have something similar from a couple of weeks ago. I was part of a one-shot adventure which was meant to show if the group of players would work out. Well, we had that fight against a pretty strong opponent which we finally defeated. He was unconscious and by the GM's word he really had just 1 HP left. Because the guy annoyed my PC so much during the fight, I decided that my char wants to see him dead. So I say I'll stab him with my sword and kill him. The GM made me roll for it, and because I failed he let me miss him and stick my sword into the ground. So I missed an unconscious, bleeding almost dead guy who was not even half a meter away from me. Not gonna play with them again. That's safe to say. Gonna make this as short as possible, but that may not work. Wall of text incoming. I'm the usual DM for my group of 5 to 6, but a month or 2 ago, I really wanted to take a break from DMing one-shots or 3-session campaigns and be a player for a bit. A player from another group at our game store overhears this and comes running over asking to DM. Our entire group was very apprehensive about this, as he was notorious for being terrible at everything he tried to do, but I stuck my neck out for him. Let's give him a try, guys, I'm sure it'll be fine. I have never been so wrong. At session 0, he semi-explained some setting rules. No Dragonborns, and if you're a magic user, you won't have your magic until the end of the 2nd or 3rd session, but by that time, everyone will also have spells. Oh, okay. This should have been a red flag, but we thought nothing of it, and make our characters, starting at level 5 for some unknown reason, and I feel pretty good about my monk. 20 decks out the gate seemed pretty great. So we play the first session, and everything just goes straight to shit. He immediately informs us that our characters have jobs in this town we've never heard of, and they didn't really even make sense. My monk, who had left his monastery a very short while ago, had apparently been working at some library for the past 5 years, while the group's rogue assassin was actually a blacksmith's apprentice for about the same time, ECT. Fast forward an hour or so, and we get to some giant magic tree and then we fight literal gods. I roll to hit one of them. 23, sweet. You miss. I guess I do. NPC name, is casting 37th level fireball, aimed at the hill you're standing on. You have until his next turn to get away. Okay, well I guess I'll use Misty Step and double dash away for my turn. Don't ask questions, but this somehow got me roughly 204 meters away. When you finish your movement, you've moved behind the tree and the beg is there cutting into it. He sees you and attacks. Take 178 damage. Me, and my entire group got wiped, on the first session, but hey, at least we got to level 6. We came to learn that he was actually just regurgitating the plot from some book he had read, and decided to just shoehorn our group in and remove the book's main character. Our first session we were fighting gods and I missed with a 24/7-man party wiped in first combat. Last session. I'm playing the wizard Hakim, and through a series of events our party, mainly me and the rogue, became extremely wealthy. Now Hakim has one dream: he wants to build a nation for mages, free of the prosecution that exists in this homebrew world. This is of course a plan that will take ages to complete, but every step of the way feels great. Except for when I get royally fucked. I bought a ship and hired a crew. I told the DM that my plan was to make it a flying ship at some point, and he took it away from me in a storm where I could do nothing but sit and listen to him tell how the storm and the waves battered my poor ship. In an attempt to save it, I polymorphed into a sea serpent thing, but my polymorph was apparently faulty, first session at level 7, and new spells are apparently sometimes faulty, so I could not turn back to human form. My teammates managed to save part of our fortune, but I lost a great chunk to the sea, together with my only magic item, my bag of holding. Now, the amount of gold I lost is rather excessive for the level, 100.000 GP. However, I was playing it cool, not spending it on op shit, but merely cool stuff that furthered my plan to make my own nation in the sky, so I feel fairly unfairly treated. Especially because I also lost my bag and my ship, the Autumn's Breeze, and the superstitious crew is scared of me for turning serpent. All in all, a pretty shit session. First time I played with the group, I had to spend the entire time putting on my armor. The DM also railroaded my character, a female cleric, into taking her clothes off to get members of the party back. Oh, and he killed us all between sessions because he didn't like that the group members wanted him to follow the rules if they had to follow the rules exactly as written. DM fudging is one thing, completely changing the rules per his whim is different. A few weeks later, he tried to get us to come back. I declined. I will never understand DMs who force sex and nudity into their games. Also, he killed your characters off screen. What the hell? That is the most egregious DM move I have ever heard of. Screw that guy. Our group was about to battle the big bad in a homebrew when we found out that he was sort of like a planeswalker that jumps in between realities. No biggie. Only thing was that the DM would stay in character the whole time, even when the group would table talk. Why, you ask? QS the bad guy can be in the game world and also hear us the players, in our world. So this meant that we as a group couldn't talk to each other about what was going on in the battle, like where to move, what to do, without the big bad knowing. Clever and annoying as hell. That was a very quiet boss battle. Our group is really new, so we don't have anything crazy, but one time one of our NPCs tapped one of our PCs on the shoulder to get his attention and the DM said it surprised the PC. The DM asked how the PC reacted and the PC just said, "Whatever, I don't really care," then proceeded to try and talk to the NPC, but then the dungeon master cut in and said that PC shit his pants from being startled. Everyone's immediate reaction was priceless and the player is still pretty salty about it. The best part was that only the NPC and one other PC knew about it, and it slowly spread to the point where just about everyone knows. You have been blessed by Sargenas, God of Wrath. Like, comment, and subscribe to bring death and judgment upon all evil dungeon masters of the world. Also, comment about what you want my next video to be on.